hear it. You hear it. Yeah, I got the music, right? What's up, everybody? This is the Blue Coats Beat Player Spotlight. I'm your host, Tony Cutillo, and usually you hear me with Coach Joe on the Blue Coats Beat. We do the podcast probably every 3 weeks. We've had some fantastic interviews, right? And we've done some fantastic work, a lot of positive messaging. We've spotlighted a lot of players, and I figured, you know what? Why don't we come out of the podcast world and I'll give you a little voice into my face. You could match up the voice with the face and kind of feel what we feel that is the excitement when it comes to the Delaware Blue Coats. Just, and having our players go up to the Philadelphia 76ers rank. As always, make sure you're subscribing to the Heat Ratio Sports YouTube page, the Delaware Blue Coats YouTube page, where we are having some really, really, really good times here. And another player, 10-day contract to the Philadelphia 76ers. What is going on in Blue Coats land, which is great to see. I'll tell you what, I am so blessed to be a part of this family and be able to talk Blue Coats basketball and to watch these young men, whether they're veterans that sign, whether they're undrafted rookies that sign, and just continue to elevate on a different level. And that's what's fantastic about this. And that's what we love to see. Okay. It started a while back, right? I mean, listen, we've talked about this. It started with Turk and Ricky, right? And now we have Darius Bazley. We had Kenny Lofton. Like, everybody's getting these 10-day contracts. And you know what the best thing about it is? The best thing about it is they're not just getting the contract, but they're actually doing something with it. Okay. They're doing something with it. They're showing that you can play at that level, or I should say they are playing at that level. So again, that is what is fantastic about this. So let's get right to it. Again, make sure you're liking, subscribing the show. Obviously, wherever you get your podcast from, just click on the Blue Coats Beat. Obviously, Apple is always predominant. You got Google Play, you have Spotify, you have Spreaker, wherever you find your podcast at. Boom, just like that Blue Coats Beat. Me and Coach Joe will be recording another episode this week. Another good interview. We had Sonny Hill on. We had Sharif Abdur-Rahim. And again, if you see me down to Chase Fieldhouse, you see Coach Joe down to Chase Fieldhouse, make sure you say hi and make sure you tell them, oh, saw you guys. We heard about it, man. We're enjoying the show, because that's what the most important part is. Okay. So we break in today. And again, here you go, live from Shams. Okay. Live from Shams. There you see the Blue Coats Beat. Right there. Like I said, it's right there. It's very easy to see. Make sure you're subscribing. Shane sources, Philadelphia 76ers plan to sign forward Darius Bazley to a 10-day contract out of their NBA G League affiliate, which is us right here, the Delaware Blue Coats, entering his 5th season. So here's the thing. We got to talk about the journey, right? We got to talk about the journey of Darius Bazley, because that's important. All these players have journeys, and that's what's so important, right? When you think about it, it's the journey. It's not just where they're going or where they get to. It's how they got there. And that's the important part. Coming off, listen, he just came off an amazing double-double, 38 points, 15 rebound game, averaging 21 and 10. And read that last part. Averaging 21 and 10 as one of the G League's best. Again, Darius Bazley. Can we just give... And I'm not here to be the ultimate hype man, but how can you not get excited? We're going to talk about the entire landscape right here. Okay? The entire landscape of why this move is happening. Right? Everybody in Sixerland was so upset about some of the trade deadline moves. And I get it. Listen, especially when you're a Blue Coats fan. Right? You're sitting there and you're talking about that, you're talking about Jaden Springer. A kid that you watched, right? A kid that you watched that came up, and you're saying to yourself, man, I hate to see the young man go. But at the end of the day, you really don't know what the long-term plan is. I don't know what the long-term plan is. Coach Joe doesn't know what the long-term plan is. Nobody really knows what the long-term plan is. And now you see it. And I was wondering, I'm not saying, again, I am not saying this. Well, maybe I am to call myself out, because I do like to give myself a little confidence and pat myself on the back a little bit every now and then. But in all good fun, when we saw them trade guys away, especially second-round picks that they feel were assets, okay? that they feel were assets. When they trade those players away, what they do is they're telling you, we believe in our young guys. They're telling you, we believe in our young guys. And to know that they didn't go out except for Kyle Lowry and really slam down this buyout market, again, they brought another guy up. And how can you not bring up a guy like Darius Bazley? Now let's just look, okay? Right now, while playing for the Blue Coats, you see the stats right there. Almost 21 points per game, almost averaging a double-double for the Blue Coats. And even getting on the board with assists, almost 4 assists a game, 2 point. This is insane. 2.5 blocks, 1.1 steals, 47% from the field from, let's be honest, somebody who was playing as an undersized center, okay? An undersized, probably going to play more of the wing here, okay? Now, he's going to get, this is a good insurance policy, okay, on guys like Paul Reed and Mo Bamba, right? You're going to have, you have a lot of guys that are, again, we don't know, their health status, right? You have DeAnthony Melton, who's been hindered by injuries. You have Nicola Batum that's been hindered by injuries. You also have Tobias Harris that isn't a young player anymore that you want to preserve, and you don't want to push that much for a playoff run. And by the way, our great coach and Nick Nurse actually plays young guys. How awesome is that? Actually plays young guys, which is amazing, right? Let's look at what Bazley has done. He did it. There's a couple highlights this year at the Winter Showcase, right, in Orlando. 43 points, 18 boards, and 6 blocks. Are you kidding? Like, think about this. I continue to say it. Adam, they go back and forth. It all depends, right? They can continue to sign them, just like they're doing with Turk and Ricky until they decide to give them that NBA contract. Now, I don't know if they're going to do that right away, obviously, but I think we see that Ricky probably deserves that, right? He shows that he's the ultimate pro. I think Turk is going to be great. I think just Turk needs a little more seasoning, right? And we know that. It's okay. It's what the G League's all about. Ricky he's on another level. And Darius, listen, I'm curious. To see what Darius Bazley does, because I think he's got a lot of skills, man. He's got a lot of skills that a lot of people weren't talking about, right? And that's the thing. And you got to look about his journey. Like, he's already been in the league. He played 228 NBA games for the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Phoenix Suns. Released. Oh, thank you, Brooklyn. Released by the Brooklyn Nets. Okay. And because he was signed and released in the preseason, and then he joins us, the Delaware Blue Coats. And you see what he's done. Okay. And here's what I will say, and I think this is very important to point out. He has career averages of 9 points per game and 5 rebounds. 9 and 5 are his career averages. Okay. The reason why I say that is because look at what this coaching staff has been able to do. You take a 9 and 5 guy, and look, boom, he's been playing with averaging 21 and 10. So you just took a 9 and 5 guy and you doubled his production in the same league. Can people start talking about the Delaware Blue Coats, please? Can the NBA start talking about the Delaware Blue Coats? Can the NBA Jig League start talking about the Delaware Blue Coats? Oh, by the way, 12-6, again at halfway point, first place in Eastern Conference. Okay, come on, man. Like, we need to start looking at this. How many teams have this many players get called up, and not just called up, but produce? And you know what? I've talked about this, and again, this may be a different audience for the first time. My Blue Coats family, very nice to meet you again. I'm Tony Cutillo, one half of the Blue Coats beat. The other half, obviously, my man, Mr. Joe Richmond, the ambassador of basketball for the Delaware Blue Coats that you see down at the Chase Fieldhouse. Give a shout out quick to Jenna for the fantastic logo for the Blue Coats beat that she made that you saw earlier. Shout out Alex Yo for giving me this platform and teaming up with us here at Heat Ratio Sports to be able to give you the best product we can possible, a little alternative. Listen, Blue Coats are the first thing, right? Blue Coats are the first for a lot of things. You know, the only ambassador of basketball operations in my man, Coach Joe Richmond. right? Nobody else has an ambassador of basketball operations. Well, now we got a podcast. We got a beat, right? And the beat's going everywhere. The beat's going down the field, beat's going out to the audience, beat's going to the players, beats. Listen, it's everywhere. That's the best part, man. When you sign up for the beat, you sign up for all the information that we can give you. And let's get back to this 21-10. I think we can't discount the fact, and I've taught this before, Blue Coats family, that you take a guy like Kobe Carl, who is your championship G League manager or head coach. Okay, manager. My mind is in. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. My mind's in spring training right now. I heard the pop with pitchers and catches. Saw Bryce Harper walking in the field. I'm excited. So I apologize if I slur spring training and the court a little bit here. But no, all kidding aside, you look at this and you look at it as a whole, and you say Kobe Carl comes from winning a championship to taking a spot up at the NBA level. How much of an integral spot is that, knowing now that you're bringing these youngsters up, okay, and some of them that are very comfortable, not because they played with Kobe Carl, okay, because Kobe Carl has the culture. Oh, and by the way, Nick Nurse has adopted the culture as well. Nick Nurse has only adopted it, but he's actually brought it. Okay, Nick Nurse's coach is almost any league possible, right? Daryl Morey spoke about it at the press conference at the trade deadline. The dude has been everywhere, coaching on so many different levels. Okay, I don't think people give enough respect to Nick Nurse and his intelligence of the game of basketball, and to be able to do what he's been able to do in such a short time, in such a short period. Like, I can't wait till Thursday, because I think he's going to be up in time in Darius Bazley, and he's going to get some clock, because Nick Nurse is not afraid to put these kids in. And listen, this team is battling for the playoffs. They're battling for the playoffs, and you're watching it. This is a new team. And again, and this isn't a knock. I don't want to get on here and just start knocking people and things of that nature, okay? I definitely don't want to do that. But what I want to do is I want to talk about, looking at last year and now looking at this year. And, when we made that huge Harden trade, the year before, and we were like, wow, we got the Harden trade, and we kept hearing like, this team needs time to gel, and they're not used to playing with each other. Man, that is so bogus. Buddy Hield comes in here, okay? And Buddy Hield just does, not only does he play, but he excels to another level. Okay, to another level instantly on this team. A guy like Cam Payne, who, listen, I get it. I get people want to come at me because I said, he's got a quick first step, but he's got more athleticism than Pat Bev. I like Pat Bev, but I'm just saying he's got more athleticism than him, and he's got a quicker first step, and he's got a better shot. It's just the way it is. Is he going to get all these minutes all the time? No, but instantaneously, Cam Payne was a difference maker. Cam Payne was a difference maker. You have Turkavion Smith comes up. Ricky Council comes up. And what happens? They don't have to gel. They play instantly. Instant success. Not saying they're going to win every game, but instant success, instant cohesion, and instant athleticism right off the bat. My man Javon checking in, man. Javon, all new tonight, going a little live on the Blue Coats beat here. Says, great point, Tony. Nick Nurse also knows the grind and development as a former G League head coach. See, Javon knows. Javon's been following the game. He understands. Okay, Nick Nurse has been everywhere. This was the best move. Like I said, I jokingly say it, but I'm dead serious. I would like to create a hashtag for Giannis and just say thank you, Giannis. And I want to send the biggest Christmas card I can to the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis for allowing us to have Nick Nurse, because if it wasn't for Giannis nixing Nick Nurse, he would be the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's not forget about that. I know we joke about it, but it is true. It is true, right? He went there first. And I'm so glad, right? Because we really didn't know what was going on here, right? We didn't know it wasn't set in stone, right? We had to figure out what we were doing. So thank God he did that. My man Adam checking. Yo, Adam, what's up, buddy? Says hats off to Nick Nurse, man. Yo, Adam, HRS late nights tonight. We're talking Phillies at 11 o'clock, man. Make sure you get ready. Javon as well. I want to talk, I want to try to split it up and just do, I'm trying to cover too many topics on late nights. So I'm going to try to stick to one every night, like one team, right? So we'll talk some Sixers one night, talk some Eagle, whatever the hot thing is we want to talk about. So tonight's going to be all Phillies. But getting back to the Blue Coats, Javon says the more athleticism on the wing and front court, the better. Well-deserved call for Bazley. Javon, I'm excited. Like, Javon, have you ever been, I say this, and I know people are, he's getting crazy, he's getting ridiculous, right? But in all seriousness, do you ever remember being this excited to watch young guys play for the Sixers? Isn't that crazy? Like, I say this honestly. It's like I'm tuning, and that's why I have, I'm trying to be good here because listen, I'm on the Blue Coats channel too, right, guys? I'm trying to be good, trying not to bring that jigsaw mentality out, right? In all honesty, the thing that bothers me a little bit is the people I've heard say they have a tough time watching the Sixers with no Joel Embiid. What? Really? Who? What do you mean you have a tough time? Whatever happened to watching the young guys step up? Whatever happened to finding out what else you have? Whatever happened to watching the development? I think they're exciting as hell, man. Are you kidding me? They are exciting, man. They are exciting. Javon says it's been a long time, not since the process years, when a core of Simmons, Fultz, and Embiid. Exactly. Like, you tuned in for the young guys, right? Think about it. We are packing that place. We are packing the timelines, and we are, well, at least the most of us, the majority, aside from the yahoos that are out there saying they don't enjoy watching the product without Joel Embiid. And granted, Joel Embiid, best player in the world right now, right? He's the best player in the world right now. But at the end of the day, he's hurt. And now we get to watch these young guys explode on the scene. It is so great because this is the first time that I could watch a trade deadline and I could say to myself, I know what they're doing, right? And here's a great point. This is why, and again, this is the Blue Coats Beat Spotlight Edition. Again, you see it going. Make sure you like and subscribe. Heat Ratio Sports YouTube page, Delaware Blue Coats YouTube page. Make sure you're following the Blue Coats and Heat Ratio Sports on X, on Instagram, everywhere you follow on the timeline. And make sure you go download that Blue Coats Beat podcast, because it is the podcast, the official podcast of the Blue Coats Beat, where we talk about the team, we talk about the players, the coaches, we have professional interviews, we talk it all, and positivity as well. Some great positive stories. We'll get to the community a little later. And tonight, I just want to do a quick spotlight. We do some spotlights now and then. And tonight's about Darius Bazley because he gets that shot. And Javon checking in, which I love. It's a great point. He says a lot of Sixers fans forget that Korkmaz, Shake, Sugar Shake, right? Paul Reed, Isaiah Joe, shout out to Isaiah Joe becoming a shooter out there for OKC. Charles Bassey, all play down in the G League. And guess what? They're all in the NBA. And listen, no disrespect. I'm not going to call. Listen, no, all kidding aside, everybody knows I mess around with Cork because of the shoes and the hair and stuff like that. We have a little fun, right? But all kidding aside, Cork actually had a nice cup of coffee here for a little bit, right? When he wasn't overexposed. And I say that all the time because a lot of times in Philadelphia, we overexpose the role players. We overexpose the guys that need more. It's like, look, he's 5-7 minutes a game. Don't give him 20, right? Don't give him 20. You hear me, Doc? No, I can say that because Doc's not here now. But no, it's a great point, right? Charles Bassey, I wanted him here. The Spurs picked him up. And that's why I'm so glad that the Sixers are starting to bring these guys up. I think they finally saw it. They're like, if we don't bring these guys up, somebody else is going to snatch these guys up, because we're producing proven winners, okay? Proven winners in this, not only the NBA G League, but the NBA as a whole. And I absolutely love it, man. I absolutely love it. I'm so excited about the second half of this season. I'm so excited about Darius Bazley coming up. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what Ricky Council does, okay, for the rest of the second. I can't wait to see what Turk does. And you know what else I'm excited for, and what you guys have to be excited for, man? I'm going to show you that in a minute. We'll get to some events. And Javon says Bazley's promotion also shows these guys in the G League grinding in Delaware or elsewhere that if you stay ready, they will call you. That is a tremendous point by Javon. Stay ready, stay prepared, stay focused, mindset, right? Gotta have the mindset. These cats have the mindset. And I'm not gonna call out because I'll only do it on HRS late nights. Adam says Tony getting jigsaw crazy. It's all listen, for the new Blue Coats audience that may be tuning in, just understand something. I am passionate. I'm just very passionate guy. Okay, I love my teams. I love sports. I love talking it. I love sharing everything with the audience. I've been given this fantastic opportunity to collaborate with the Blue Coats and Heat Ratio Sports and be able to bring this to you. I mean, just some fantastic stuff going on. And this is the time you get involved. This is an opportunity that I never had. This opportunity to see these guys play. Get to that Chase Fieldhouse Center, man. It's such a great environment. It's like you get to the Chase Fieldhouse, man. Go see a game. Go see Coach Joe. Okay, first guy's going to meet you through the door. Okay, go see him. I'm telling you. And then look, here's the thing. And then this is what we got coming up, right? This is what the Blue Coats got coming up. Okay, it's coming up the 23rd. Ketchup versus mustard condiment duel, right? Blue Coats versus Grand Rapids, presented by the great people at the Green Turtle. And then they follow up. They follow up with Cody's birthday bash. Cody's birthday bash. They're all going to be there, man. Rocky, Udi, the Hawk, February 23rd, where we take on Brick City, man. So it's going to be fun. Make sure you get on the Blue Coat site. Get those tickets, man. Get those tickets today. Make sure you're getting those tickets so you can join in all the fun. And again, we got a second half of the season, and I'm going to love every minute of it. And I love this. So as I close out here, again, I want to come in here. I want to introduce myself. I am Tony Cutillo. Like I said, one half of the Blue Coats beat. We're pushing this new concept. We want to get everybody involved. This is the time to get involved. This is the time to get involved. Don't let the ship sail, man. Don't jump on later because it's not that. Listen, I want everybody to be on the wagon, right? It doesn't matter, but you're doing yourself a disservice if you catch on late. You're doing yourself a disservice if you catch on late. Okay. And I say that honestly because you want to be able to talk about and see these players grow. That's the most important thing. I'm telling you, whether they're undrafted, whether they've been in the league, whether they're veterans, it doesn't matter. Get yourself an opportunity to watch these guys grow. Adam, man, as always, make sure you're tuning in. Everybody watching this show, I will be live on Heat Ratio Sports. I do a HRS late night show every single night, 11 p.m. Okay, we start tonight. We're going to be talking some Phillies. We're going to talk about Bryce Harper with Merrifield. We're going to be talking about the weak bench, talking about will they add another starter. Listen, man, I'm going to talk about Bryce Harper. Just pay the man. Pay the man. I don't care anything. Just pay the man. He deserves it. But listen, I'm going to sign off here. Make sure you're subscribing to both of these YouTube pages and make sure you continue to support us and follow the beat because the beat continues to go. The beat continues to grow. Not go, continues to grow. And it keeps getting louder and louder. And with the help of you guys, the help of the fans, it will continue to get even louder and louder and louder. Again, Tony Cutillo, everybody stay safe, stay healthy. And again, like I always say, we will catch you back here